Good afternoon and welcome to Release and Rise. Today I want to talk about something more important than success, achievement, wealth, status, or even recognition. I want to talk about becoming you, not the version that other people expect, not the version that's shaped by fear, comparison, or social pressure, but the authentic, capable, confident, the person you were always created to become. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates once said, "To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom." The journey of life is not really about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering who you already are and having the courage to live it. The greatest product you will ever work on is you. Most people spend years building careers. They spend years building businesses. They spend years building houses. But very few spend intentional time building themselves. Yet the person you become determines everything else. Your relationships, your health, your career, your impact, and even your happiness. Author Jim Rohn said, "Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become." Think about that for a moment. We often focus on goals, getting promoted, making more money, losing weight, starting a business. But goals are outcomes. Identity is the foundation. The question is not, what do I want? The deeper question is, who do I need to become? A confident person makes different decisions than an insecure person. A disciplined person creates different results than an undisciplined person. And a growth-minded person sees opportunities where others see obstacles. Becoming you starts with recognising your greatest assets, which is not your resume, it's your character. So removing the masks. Many of us wear masks. We wear masks of protection. We wear masks of perfection. The mask of confidence, the mask of people-pleasing, and the mask of success. And over time, we become so accustomed to wearing them that we forget who we really are. Author Brené Brown wrote, "Authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you really are." Becoming yourself requires honesty. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? What dreams have I buried? What strengths am I hiding? And what fears are controlling my decisions? Growth begins with self-awareness. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. The strongest people are those who are willing to face themselves honestly. Because clarity creates power. When you know who you are, you stop chasing approval. When you know your values, you stop following every trend. And when you know your purpose, distractions lose their power. Growth requires discomfort. There's a misconception that becoming your best self should feel comfortable, and it really doesn't. Every meaningful transformation involves discomfort. A seed must break through the ground before it grows, and a caterpillar must dissolve before becoming a butterfly. And a beginner must struggle before becoming skilled. Author Robin Sharma said, "Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end." Growth asks difficult things of us. It asks us to have difficult conversations, learn new skills, admit mistakes, take risks, and fail publicly. Start before we're ready. Most people avoid this discomfort. But growth lives on the other side of comfort. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you move closer to becoming who you're really meant to be. Ask yourself, what would I fear wasn't making the right decision? That question alone can change a life. So here's some practical tools for becoming you. Personal growth isn't built on motivation alone. It's built on consistent practices. And here are 5 tools that you can start using today. Journaling. Journaling is a wonderful way to express yourself. So spend 10 minutes each day writing and ask yourself, what did I learn today? What challenged me today? What am I grateful for? Who am I becoming? Writing creates clarity. You cannot improve what you refuse to examine. Have a personal list of values and identify your top 5 values. And examples could include integrity, growth, family, creativity, service, courage. When decisions become difficult, use your values as a compass. Success without alignment creates emptiness. So here's the 1% rule. Instead of pursuing a massive change overnight, improve by 1% daily. Read that 1 page in the book. Take that walk for 10 minutes. And maybe learn 1 new idea. Make 1 better choice for yourself. Tiny improvements compound into extraordinary results. And as Carl Rogers wrote, a curious paradox is when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. A growth circle. You surround yourself with people who challenge and encourage you. The people around you influence your mindsets, your habits, and your expectations. Ask, who doesn't inspire me? Who pushes me to grow? Who believes in my potential? So choose your environment carefully. Have a weekly reflection. Once a week, ask, what went well this week? What needs improvement? What lesson did I learn? And what is going to be my next step? Reflection turns experience into wisdom. And without reflection, we repeat mistakes over and over. But with reflection, we evolve. The person waiting inside of you is ready to become now. So as we conclude, remember this. You do not need permission to become yourself. You do not need to wait until you feel ready. You do not need to have everything figured out. The person you want to become is built one decision at a time, one habit at a time, and one courageous step at a time. The poet Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Your future is not determined solely by your circumstances. It is shaped by the person you choose to become. So today I have one final question for you. If the best version of you were standing here right now, what would they do next? And whatever that answer is, start there. I would like to now invite you to a guided hypnosis session in becoming you. I can ask you to find a comfortable position where you can relax completely, either sitting like myself or lying down. I'll allow you a few moments to do this. Okay, so now you're resting comfortably. Allow your hands to rest by your side. Allow your eyes to close. And for the next few minutes, give yourself permission to do nothing except listen. Nothing to achieve, nothing to prove. Now begin noticing your breathing, the natural rhythm, the gentle rise and the gentle fall. Breathing in and breathing out. With each breath, you can begin to settle. With each breath, you can begin to let go of the outside world. The sounds around you can simply become part of the experience. Every sound helping you relax even more deeply. Every sound reminding you that this is your time, your moment, and your journey. And as you continue breathing, imagine a wave of relaxation beginning at the top of your head. A pleasant feeling of comfort, a feeling of ease, moving down through your forehead, softening every tiny muscle, releasing any tension you may have been holding around your eyes, your cheeks, and your jaw, allowing everything to loosen, everything to soften, and everything to relax. That feeling now flowing through your neck and shoulders, carrying away any heaviness, any pressure, any need to hold on. So now down through your arms, your elbows, wrists and hands, and all the way to your fingertips. Relaxed, comfortable, and peaceful. And now that feeling flows through your chest, your stomach, your back, your hips, down through your legs, your knees, calves, ankles, and all the way into your feet, until your entire body feels calm, still, comfortable and relaxed. Now imagine yourself standing at the beginning of a beautiful path, a path that belongs only to you, a path that represents your life. Notice the colours around you, the air, the sounds, the feeling beneath your feet. This path stretches ahead into the distance. And as you look down the path, you realise something important. This is not a path toward becoming someone else. This is a path becoming more fully yourself, the person that you were always meant to be. And as you begin walking, you notice that with every step, you leave something behind. One step, and you leave behind all your self-doubt. Another step, and you leave behind comparison. Another step, and you leave behind old limitations. The expectations of others begin to fade into the distance. The pressure to be perfect begins to dissolve. The need to prove yourself begins to disappear. And with every step forward, you feel lighter, more authentic, and more connected to yourself. Ahead of you appears a beautiful doorway. This doorway leads to a deeper understanding of who you truly are. As you approach it, notice how safe it feels, how inviting it feels. And when ready, imagine opening the door and stepping through. Inside is a peaceful room filled with warm light, a place of wisdom, a place of truth, a place where you can meet the deepest part of yourself. And in the centre of the room is a chair that is there for you. And in that chair is another person, and that person is you. Not the current version, but the fullest version of you. The wisest version, the most confident version, the most authentic version. Take a moment to observe them. Notice how they look, how they move, how they carry themselves. Notice the calm confidence they possess, not arrogance, not perfection, simply confidence born from self-acceptance. This version of you knows who they are. They trust themselves. They respect themselves. They honour their values and they live with purpose. Now imagine walking towards this future self. Notice the kindness in their eyes, the wisdom in their presence, the strength in their energy. And as you stand before them, they smile because they have been waiting for you. They know your struggles. They know your fears. They know your dreams. and they accept every part of you completely. Imagine speaking to them now. Perhaps you would say, they would say to you, you don't need to become someone else. You only need to become more of who you truly are. You already possess strengths that you have not fully recognized. You already have the ability to grow. You already have everything you need for the next step. Allow whatever message comes to you to be exactly right. Trust what you hear. Trust what you feel. And now imagine a future self placing their hand gently on your shoulder. And as they do, a warm light begins to flow from them into you. A light of confidence, a light of self-trust, a light of authenticity. The light fills your mind, your heart, your body, and as it does, begin to remember something. You do not need permission to be yourself. You do not need approval to honor your truth. You don't need to hide your gifts. You do not need to diminish your voice. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to succeed. You are allowed to take up space. And most importantly, you are allowed to become you. And now as the light grows brighter, allow these words to settle deeply within. I trust myself. I honor who I am. I release who I am not. I grow stronger every day. I learn from every experience. I deserve to express my authentic self. And I choose courage over fear. I choose growth over limitation. I choose truth over approval. I am becoming more myself every day. And now imagine your future self smiling once more, knowing that every step you take from this moment forward brings you closer to your authentic self. Not through force, not through struggle, but through awareness, choice, and consistent action. Notice how it feels to know that you don't have to figure out everything today. You only need to take the next step. One step, one choice, one day at a time. And now it is time to return, bringing with you everything that's been useful from this experience. Everything positive, everything supportive, and everything empowering. Knowing that these insights remain available whenever you need them. So begin becoming aware of your breathing once again. The rise and the fall. The movement of air. Notice your body resting where you are. Notice the surface supporting you. And in a moment, I will count from 1 to 5. With each number, you will become more alert, more refreshed, bringing back a sense of clarity and confidence. 1. Becoming aware of your surroundings. 2. Energy beginning to return. 3. Feeling refreshed and comfortable. 4. Bringing back a sense of calm confidence. 5. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling present, clear and connected to yourself. Can I ask, could you leave a comment on how this made you feel today? On my website, I've linked my bio if you would like a one-to-one service from me. Until next time, sending love to you all.